Alright, so today is June. What is today? June 10th. Alright, June 10th. So, today's June 10th, about 4:15 in the afternoon, on this very hot, I guess, warm. I don't know, ever since I came back from Arizona, I do not know what hot is anymore. I mean, I feel warm. My body absorbs the heat, but I have no idea what's going on. So anyway, there's a couple things that I wanted to cover, but they're separate enough that I'll be talking about them in 3 separate episodes. So, first, whichever one this is will be first, I guess. So, it doesn't not like it really matters, but whatever. So pull up the list of topics again. I think I'm just going to be calling this collection. It's not really a series. On, I guess, just general thoughts. That's what this stuff is called. I'm running. So, I bought, Jesus. For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to buy a whole gallon of milk when I still have a quarter of a half gallon. Here nor there. Alright, so the general topics for today are LGBTQ / marriage and my general thoughts on that, obviously. And what race actually means. Like, for instance, what it actually means in American culture, what the actual definition of it is, and yeah. And also, the big one, how a constitutional democratic republic is supposed to work, including the Electoral College, because I know everybody likes to bitch about the Electoral College when they have no idea why it was established in the first place. And why it aligns with the purposes of a constitutional democratic republic, like here in America. Because America is not a democracy. I cannot stress this enough. It is not a freaking democracy. So yeah, I'm also testing my earbuds to see if they are actually recording over this as I walk away from my phone. So here I go. I don't know if I'm getting softer or louder. But just testing that out right now. So I guess the first will be the one that I listed. Is the LGBTQ / marriage thing. But then I'll cut off the recording at the end of the topic. Most likely. Walking away from my phone real quick. Alright, so I don't know nor care how many groups there are now. I stopped caring because I don't think it really matters at all. Yeah. I know what I am, and I think that's all that really matters. I think it's responsible, I guess. Responsible, I guess, is that word for that? Prudent. To be aware of all social happenings and goings on. Whether I have to care about them or not, I don't know. So, yeah. So, Dr. Peterson, the psychiatrist, had an interesting thing to say, interesting framework about this to think about, and why the way we think about it, or the way we perceive it, makes absolutely no sense. So, I guess, alright, so, whether you want to think about this or not, whether you agree with this or not, I don't care. But the reality is that the LGBTQ, the letter P, the alphabet people, let's call them that for right now. The alphabet people, they are a very small minority of any society they are in, which, you know, let's start from there. I think we can all acknowledge that. Whether that means the total number of people that have identified concretely that they are what they are. Yeah. And we'll get into the whole queer thing in just a second, why that's group, because if you're queer, like, I get, like, if you have mixed feelings about it, because that's obviously what queer is, just, you don't know what you are yet. It has not been made self-explanatory in whatever way it's supposed to, I guess. Or you're having doubts, or whatever. Why it needs to be a group, I don't know. It's a label, so we're labeling people. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Why are we creating all these groups from the marginal people, not marginalized, marginal people? Marginalized out there also. I'll leave my phone up here. Yeah. So we can all agree that normative heterosexualness, I guess, is the right thing to call it. I don't know. I'm not a sociologist person or a gender studies person, which I don't know. Started on the validity of that field, but, as an academic profession, but whatever. So, anyway, what was I saying? Sorry, I'm doing dishes, so I'm concentrating on things. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember what he said, but whatever. So basically what he said was, why do people that feel like they are in the margins, or are in the margins, obviously because they are, because the minority is a margin of the norm, why do they keep creating groups for themselves? Because if you keep creating all these groups, you lose your effectiveness as a movement, group, I guess. I don't know. Movement or group, what do you want to call it? Because some of them are movements, some of them are groups. Some of them are just labels and nobody really cares. So, but I also think it's like not, I think it is, I don't know if stupid's the right word, but improper to label them as a collective, because in my personal experience, and in academic experience, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, they do not act nor behave like a group at all, nor do they usually like each other. outside of a forced together setting, and even then it's a little dicey. So, and people that say that they are fooling themselves, or trying to stick and enforce something where something doesn't belong. So, like, outside of like a university setting, obviously, or a forced cultural situation, rarely are these groups like-minded or cohesive or anything like that, or movements or whatever. They're obviously linked, associated, whether that's by themselves, done by themselves, or that occurred naturally, or that was done by the majority of society. Did you use the chase card at Taco Bell? No. Yeah. So basically, anyway. Oh fuck! I forgot honey. Oh, whatever. What was I saying? So. Give me 1 second. I gotta think about something else real quick. So this is why I do this, because my brain is so scattered, and it's nice, and I obviously don't have time to write things down, or actually, well, I probably do, but I don't have the focus to write things down. Because other things come up, like right now. Anyway, so what I was saying was, what was I saying? All right, so I think about, people in general, of that persuasion. Because obviously, in my experience, they are not cohesive. And I think that to acknowledge them as that is ignorant of everything that's been going on. But they are certainly linked. I liked the Dave Chappelle analogy. They're all driving in the same car, but they're separate people. But they're not part of the same family. They're like people getting a ride to somewhere where they're going, wherever they're going, who knows what that is, and I don't even think they do, but they are many of these. But God, these dishes stink. So I'll just run down and I'm just gonna pull up the movement on Wikipedia and run down what I think about each one. So a 15-minute preamble to that. So, oh, tell you my personal experience was with most of them. And I will first say that I am a very extremely overabundantly heterosexual man. Whatever the fuck that means. Meaning I have male genitalia. I was born with male genitalia. And I am attracted to only women. So yeah. That is all. So, second while I start my dishwasher. Then I'll pull up what I want to pull up. Pull! Start. Options. Is that right? I think. Yeah, start. Okay. So, share Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Mom says okay. Sean Squisham. Sorry. Recent searches. LGBTQ. Yeah, even. And then there's like pride, which is a whole different thing, right? So there's the pride, which is being proud. I don't know, whatever. They appropriate words, okay? Let's just be honest. They appropriate words and change the meaning of them, and whatever. So I doubt this is all gonna encompass everything. Just want the terminology of homosexuality. Let's see if this does. All the groups. Not necessarily all the labels, but all the general groups. Because there are many labels. Recent academic terms. Yes, give me what I want. Community? Question mark? Yes, a loosely defined. I need a drink of water. Heterosexism. According to Elizabeth Kramer. Yes, according to one person that makes all the rules and has literally almost no standing. Terminology. I know what I'm looking for, I just need the words. I just need the words. And this is, more to my point. Oh, I just farted. Start one? Exactly, because there's not one place where there's a whole lot of terms. Well, anyway, so let's just start with gay. Or, well, lesbian. Actually, I haven't met too many lesbians, to be honest. Or, well, at least I've definitely met more gay people than I've met lesbians, probably. Or at least people who admit that they're gay. Lesbians. Maybe it's because I'm a guy, I don't know. Anyway, but is a trend or not. But oh, or so, in my experience, most lesbians that I've met fit the quote-unquote classic lesbian stereotype. Meaning, they are masculine? Question mark? I guess is the word for it. That's the best way I can describe it. Masculine acting, looking, sounding women. Yeah. There are only, in real life, obviously. Apparently, there's people on social media and in the celebrity world that are different. It's either they're just, not and getting the publicity for it. But anyway, they do not fit. In short, I'm not attracted to them. So, I've never met a lesbian that I'm attracted to. I don't think I have. Heterosexually speaking. That's what this is all about. Which is another thing entirely, but such as that. But anyway, I'm working with a couple right now. Not a couple, lesbian couple, but a couple of lesbians. Yeah. And or bisexual women. I don't know. Nor do I care. For that matter. I don't care what you do in your sexual life. Because I won't tell you what I do with mine. Because that's private. And I don't think the other people would enjoy that very much. So, yeah. Don't tell me about yours. That's privacy. That's the entire thing. I should have probably said at the beginning, but, kind of forgot about it. Yeah. Anyway. Putting on better seats. Brand new ones too. Anyway, but overall, I feel like, just personal feeling, when I'm around a lesbian, I don't feel like I'm around a woman all the time. Is it because of that non-attraction factor? Or is it just their vibe that they're putting off? Maybe a combination of both. I don't know. But that includes probably one exception. But I never actually really met them. They live in my building, I think. Maybe they don't anymore. I don't know, I didn't keep track. But, guess why should I? That's the only one. And the only reason why I knew they were lesbian, because I followed them on Instagram. So, and they were roommates with the person I went to high school with, I think. Because I've seen them on each other's social medias. So, yeah. that's the only exception. But otherwise, out of all peoples that I have dealt with, lesbians and or bisexual women are probably the people I've gotten along best with out of the other groups. Not necessarily like I hate them, but just, I connected more with them. Probably because we share a similar mindset, I guess. Because at the end of the day, it's a woman. We're not getting good. You have to deal with it. It's just the way it is. We share similar visions and things. So what's happening? Yeah. So, yeah, I guess. We share similar things. So therefore, I can't be friends with them. I don't know if friends is the right word. But strong acquaintances. I don't really have any friends. I don't want them any friends. I've never really met any crazy lesbians. I don't think I have. Knowing that, my thinking is if they were crazy, they'd probably stick in my memory. I'm not remembering any. No, I'm not. Well, okay. I don't think that was crazy. I think that was just immaturity. Yeah, I think that was just what that was. It's hard to tell sometimes. Someone is just immature. This one was bisexual. The one I'm thinking of. And I think she was. At least she said she was. Which, who the hell knows. But, I don't even think she does. But, yeah. I think I'm done with lesbians for now. Gotta cover that, especially. So on to, gay people. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but I attract gay men. Does that mean I'm hot, or just give off that vibe? I don't know, but I don't have any gay friends. So, because, it's just, they're incompatible, I guess. I have gay acquaintances, I guess. Well, maybe not. Are there any people up to that level? None that come to mind. Like, I've had classmates, obviously, that I've worked together with. Men of questioning sexuality. Sexuality, I guess. He never said anything to me about it. I didn't really care. I think, yeah. So, it's that. To be honest, I don't really like them as people. I think the best way to describe what I feel is annoyed, maybe. I guess that would be the best word to describe that. I find them annoying. Not all of them, obviously. The guy that I just mentioned, he wasn't annoying. think he was trying too hard. But yeah, I don't think it was annoying. But that's like only the ones that are like really out there. Like, yeah, that's who I'm annoyed with. So basically what I'm saying is, as long as you don't, I'm not annoyed with you, as long as it's not the first thing that comes to mind when I see you, I guess. Or it's the thing you're always bringing up. We're just chilling, having a good time. Like, for instance, I don't know how long ago it was. Anyway, as worker friends, not really friends, but you know, some of them are friends, I guess. You know, maybe, I don't know. Anyhow. So we were all out on a Saturday night, going to a bar, you know, having a good time. He was an acquaintance, I guess. Although I don't think we ever met officially because of Corona's COVID stuff. But he was in the friend circle of some of my coworkers. I don't know if he was invited or if he just was there. I can't remember. But anyway. We had drunken talk. Not drunk, I don't know if drunk or not, but definitely intoxicated enough not to drive. And let, you know, alcohol do what was intended. Social lubrication. And I wasn't annoyed with him because I knew that he was, but we didn't talk about it. At least I don't think we did. It was never mentioned. It never came up. And that was it. So, I don't really have a problem. Yeah. I just don't want you to put in my face. I guess that's what I'm saying. Obviously I can tell sometimes by looking at people, because, yeah, it's kind of obvious sometimes, to be honest, but it's neither here nor there. These are some sheets for yeah. Getting my boat. To be honest, bisexual men. I don't recall any having interactions with them. Or ever met any of them. I think that I know of people who are. Maybe. Although they've never confirmed it to me or anybody else has. Well, take that back. I think that was once. But I don't know if they are just not as numerous. Maybe. But I could see there being more queer men than there are bisexual men. Maybe being queer men are more in the same numbers or percentage or proportion equivalency thing to bisexual women. Just a theory. No evidence whatsoever to support that. But, you know, hypothesis. Now, the biggie. Transgender people. To be honest, I don't care for them. Never met a trans person I liked. They've always freaked me out, to be honest. And I don't know if anybody likes to admit it in the LGBTQ community, but I don't think they're that liked either. Why? I don't know. But that's just a vibe I got. Or getting, or, you know, verb tenses. It's just, yeah, I've never had a good interaction. I think that there are of the entire spectrum, which is a word that loosely applies to the topic in the first place, but I think they're going through the most mental identity crises of the spectrum. I think that's what makes them the way they are, or at least that's what makes them. That's what's produced the interactions that I've had with them, although very limited. The issue is, for me, sorting out who is transgender and who is non-binary. Because I get non-binary. That's a whole other thing. Because that just means you don't fit in to like a traditional identity that society has put out there, I guess. Which is fine. I don't care about that. I don't really care about much anyway, but that's like the least of my worries. Like, I ain't no jabroni neither. Like, I'm not a toxic masculine person. At least I don't think I am. But, what's our run time so far? Damn, 40 minutes. Mark receipt can be found at this place. But, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm not sure. What the fuck is that word mean? Are free of it? Do I hate them? Just don't like it. Like, I don't like whiskey. But that's based off of interactions that I've had with them, which I think is justified. They were just not nice people. Something like that. But then again, the pronoun thing is, I don't like it either. Because I don't think that I think that if your self-esteem is that low, or your self-image is that low, your self-confidence is that low, why should you be caring if your maturity level is that low? I think you need, like, you can identify as whatever. You prefer to be called whatever. Just don't go around people, like, badgering people about it. That's my really thing about it, I guess. So, pick my nose. Because I don't care otherwise. But if I'm gonna view, like, if you, like, hound me about that, like, if I make a mistake, whatever, you just need to, like, move on. If you don't move on, I'm gonna view you as immature. Probably. Because in the grand scheme of things, calling someone by the wrong pronouns, especially if you don't know, or it was not brought up, and I had to go out of the way. Ooh, it's a hawk. A hawk and a bird are fighting. Whoa. Nature. Urban nature. Anyway, just buzzed me. It was a text. I also got a strange charge from last Saturday. 35 the store. The store. Last Saturday. I think. What is he talking about? I think so. Last Saturday. What was I doing last Saturday? I didn't do anything last Saturday. Right? Anyway, I'll eventually get to the whole marriage thing. Just 1 second. Conversations with mother over text about financial things. Oh, fart. But I think I've got my cup of water. Pronoun thing, non-binary. If you don't identify with it, whatever, don't identify with it. I don't think really anybody cares about that, to be honest. And if they do, don't hang around them. It's like, it's the same deal, like, same if you're offended by something, right? I respond to people who are offended by things, like I would respond to a child that doesn't like it. that doesn't like them. Like they're loud and they're mean. It's like, well, don't go over there and talk to them. Like, you don't have to be around people that are mean. You can walk away. If you're not mature enough to walk away, that's not my problem. That's a you problem. Now, obviously, there's complex situations, but at the end of the day, you gotta learn to work with people. And if you gotta ignore things to work with people, you gotta ignore things to work with people. I do it on a daily basis. Not daily, obviously, but every time I go to work with people, I ignore things so I have to work because I have to work with people. It's just the way it is. I obviously have my boundaries, but so far those boundaries haven't been crossed. I think, as a mature individual, my boundaries are pretty far out. Or no, are pretty close. Like, you would have to seriously mess up to cross a boundary with me, or get to the point where I have to take action to deal with something. And typically, it's like performance related. You're not performing in your job well, or performing in your situation, your social role well enough for me, or for the collective. That's when I take issue. And I think that's just the way why other people should look at that as well. So yeah. Now. Whole marriage thing. Oh my god, what is it now? Oh, my battery's running dead. The whole marriage thing. I don't care. But like, at a federal level in the United States, because in American culture, it is now socially acceptable for that to happen at a legal level, in the legal sphere, theater, arena, call it you will. So yeah, the legal combination of two households. I don't care who those two households are. Do I still think marriage is kind of fucked up anyway? Yeah. Why you would ever want to do it? Absence from religious significance, which is obvious with this community, and the concept of love, which is sometimes debatable with any people, because yeah, it's kind of like the number one reason for divorce: getting married. Number one cause of divorce: getting married. Because it's a very destructive, messed up social contract that is legally binding to one person for eternity until you end that. Yeah. Obviously, there are certain benefits, but do the benefits really outweigh the cons in a legal marriage? So, there is that. However, I do believe that because there is a specific thing in our Constitution, American U.S. Constitution, for religious entities. And so far, this kind of has been established. Maybe accepted. I don't know if it's been accepted, but established. That a religious entity, because there is a process to become a religious entity, recognized as a religious entity, you have the ability, as a religious entity, to deny marriage services. And you don't have to give a reason. Because, on grounds of religious reasons. That's all you gotta do. Because of our religion, in respect to our religion, we have refused to marry you. I don't know if accept you is the right word. But because it's the walking away thing again. Are you mature enough to walk away from something? So there is that. They have the ability on their property they own and the services that they provide, they have the ability to deny you that. They don't have to do anything for you. You can ask. They have the right to say no. Just like anybody has the right to say no. They are not obligated to give you that service. But the government is, I think. Obligated is the right word. But if you go through the steps, go through the proper channels, that's it. Ta-da! You're married. I'm not familiar with any of the religions, so I won't be able to comment on that. But in terms of biblical Christianity, I'm not talking about institutional Christianity because it's a different thing altogether. But the way I understand it is this. The Bible itself, the New Testament, Old Testament, anyway, the New Testament says that this is the way it's supposed to work, right? And it's an implied process. There's only two explicit things that are said about it, and the rest is kind of implied. And the part that people think talks about homosexuality isn't talking about consensual relationships between adults and or consensual relationships in general. That's about taking advantage of people, so we won't get into that. But so the way I understand it is no sexual relations, define that what you will, can occur outside the confines of marriage. Whether that is a married person and a non-married person. Now this is Christian marriage. Legal marriage, whatever. I still think it's a little sketchy if it's only legal marriage, but we're talking about Christian marriage, which is the marriage was performed at a religious or Christian setting. Because that's what we're basically talking about. According to Christian custom. So, whether that's a married person and a non-married person having a relationship, obviously that, an affair, no. I don't know where I stand yet on people in significantly committed relationships having, obviously not sexual, but an emotionally charged, emotionally filled relationship with an outside person. I don't know how I feel about that yet, because I'm in the middle of a couple of those. And I've been in the middle of a couple of those. And I don't know how I feel about them yet. But that's neither here nor there at this point. That is for them to decide. Because it's not really explicitly laid out in the Bible, to my knowledge. But I think breaking a commitment is a big deal. you have to be absolutely positive that your commitment no longer is valid. Either that being that your commitment didn't exist in the first place, or has since fallen out. Whatever that looks like. But anyway, so like back to sexual relationships outside of the Christian marriage. Married person and non-married person, obviously not. Two married individuals outside of their own separate marriages, no. And then non-married individuals having a sexual relationship outside of marriage, so they're not married, according to Christian custom, is not okay. If you are of the faith, obviously, that's the big thing. You can't be of the faith, proclaim to be of the faith, and have these relationships, because the two things aren't congruent. Like, you can't have one thing and then the other. It's not how it works. Because if you are accepting this, you have to give up this. Now, obviously, we mess up, and then there's a process for, coming back to that. Restoring your faith. There's a process. And that process has been followed. I've seen it been followed. I've done it myself. Not for whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah. So, obviously, sexual relations outside of marriage, Christian marriage, is a no-go. Still proclaimed to be a Christian of the faith. So that's a no-go. And if a marriage, the other explicit thing is, that is mentioned, is marriage, a Christian marriage, can only be between a man and a woman. Traditionally defined man and woman. Biologically male and woman. Born male and woman. In my opinion. Because that's, yeah. Now, from there, whatever happens. So, it's implied that homosexual Christian marriages cannot exist. Because that goes against the process, right? Yes. Now, it gets a little sticky, obviously, when someone wants to come to the faith and is in a legal homosexual relationship, legal homosexual marriage, combination of the two households. That obviously, gets a little tricky. The question is raised, do we have to legally sever that marriage in order to become that? I think the answer is yes, but bring me a situation where that's going to happen. I think it's certainly a possibility. I don't think it's very likely. That's not how I'm imagining that process would work. I think that relationship would have been severed before committing to the faith. Like, if you had past relationships like that, I don't care, because, people come from everywhere. People come from all kinds of things to come to the faith. But, yeah. Because obviously, the church can't accept, the religious entity cannot accept that marriage is valid. and therefore you would be having sexual relations outside of that. Now, if you weren't having sexual relations, well, I mean, legal marriage is legal marriage. So, whatever happens, happens, and it is what it is. And that concludes this episode.